Dear students, good morning and assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the shift in American foreign policy regarding democracy promotion in the Middle East, particularly in the Arab Gulf states after the 9/11. So this discussion is based on my PhD research. In the last part of chapter 3, I have discussed the background. Before 9/11, what was going on in the American foreign policy on promoting democracy in the Middle East. I have summarized it, given its summary before 9/11. Many scholars have written about the American role in democratization generally all over the world. American democracy promotion in the all over the world. So generally, many scholars have written about the American role in democratization. Among these scholars are Talbot, Rubin, Way, Burns, Walchik, Brands, Laughlin, and Zahim. These scholars discuss how the US played roles in Europe, Latin America, and other parts of the world. Promoting democracy has been a key part of US national interest throughout the 20th century. It is considered a basic value of the United States. Promotion of democracy is considered a basic value of the United States. It has shaped much of American foreign policy. Promotion of democracy in foreign countries has been shaping much of American foreign policy. Critics of American expansion argue something important. They say that if America becomes an empire abroad, it will harm democracy both abroad and inside the United States. President John F. Kennedy said in 1962 that America had a historic duty. He said America must either watch freedom fail or help freedom succeed. Freedom, democracy in other countries. If America will not help, freedom and democracy may fail in foreign countries. So America has a duty. John F. Kennedy said, America has a duty to support democracy in foreign countries so that it does not fail. President Ronald Reagan said something similar. He said Americans were watchmen on the walls of world freedom. Americans were watchmen on the walls of world freedom. President Carter also pushed for human rights and democracy globally. President Wilson wanted to make the world safe for democracy. New conservatives later mocked Wilson for this focus on democracy and human rights. The US often sees promoting democracy as part of its identity and mission. Many American leaders justify foreign policy through democratic ideals. Many debates exist inside the US about promoting democracy abroad. Some argue that pushing democracy can create problems. Others say long-term global peace depends on it. Long-term global peace depends on promotion of democracy, some Americans argue. This was the last part of my chapter 3. Next chapter 4. Now it focuses on democracy promotion in the Middle East after 9/11, when George W. Bush launched a freedom agenda. The Bush administration strongly supported democracy promotion after 9/11. Many US leaders believed that lack of democracy in the Middle East contributed to extremism. All of you know 9/11. So many Americans believe that lack of democracy in the Middle East, absence of democracy in the Middle East, it was one of the reasons behind terrorism, reasons behind 9/11 incidents. They thought promoting democracy could reduce future threats. The Bush government created new policies to encourage democratic values in the Middle East. They said democracy in the region would help bring peace. Bush also said Middle Eastern people deserve freedom just like people in other regions. Middle Eastern people, they deserve freedom just like people in other countries, in other regions of the world. He criticized the idea that Arabs are not ready for freedom. Some people argued that Arabs do not like freedom. George Bush said no, they also like freedom. He said thinking like this is pessimism and condescension. Condescension means arrogance. The US government connected democracy promotion with American security. The American government connected American security with democracy in the Middle East. 9/11 made the administration rethink its approach to security. Condoleezza Rice explained that the US spent 60 years choosing stability over democracy in the Middle East. Choosing stability over democracy in the Middle East. In the past, the American governments thought if they push for democracy in the Middle East, it may lead to civil wars, it may lead to unrest and instability, which will hamper trade. Because America and other Western countries, they buy oil. They import oil from Middle East and Arab countries, So if there are civil war, then if there is instability and unrest, that trade, it could be harmed. You are getting the point? So the American governments thought they should not push democracy in the Middle East before 9/11. But when America was attacked on 9/11 2001, they said, no, it has become a problem. There is no democracy in the Middle East. Human rights are violated. It is a reason of terrorism and extremism in the Arab world. So in order to stop terrorism and extremism in the Arab countries, there is a need to promote democracy and human rights in the Arab world. Getting it? Are you getting it? So they linked democracy in the Arab countries with American security. Condoleezza Rice said the US achieved neither stability nor democracy through that old approach. She announced that the US was now supporting democratic aspirations of all people. A fact sheet from the State Department said US policy was based on human rights, democracy, and rule of law. The Bush administration used four types of institutions for promoting democracy in the Gulf. Number one, US government departments and their branches, American governmental organizations. Number two, private American organizations under public private partnerships. Number three, international institutions involving the US, like BMANA. BMANA means Broader Middle East and North Africa. Broader Middle East and North Africa. It was an organization created by the Americans. And the American Kuwait Alliance, it was also one of the organizations. And local Gulf organizations. These were four types of organizations which American government used for promotion of democracy and human rights in the Arab countries. These institutions included both bilateral and multilateral groups. Bilateral means when two countries are involved. Bilateral means when two countries are involved. Multilateral means when more than two countries are involved. Three or more. Okay, it is called multilateral. Using all these different institutions helped spread activities across many areas. The US also redesigned democracy promotion structures. Three major initiatives were launched. Number one, the Middle East Free Trade Area, MEFTA, it was started. Number two, the Broader Middle East and North Africa Initiative, BMANA. Number three, Democracy Assistance Programs. MEFTA and BMANA mainly focused on economic reforms. Programs run by Middle East Partnership Initiative, MEPI, Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, DRL, and USAID focused on political reforms, education, and women empowerment. In the Gulf, MEPI and DRL were active, while USAID did not play a major role. All of you understand women empowerment? Yes, women, do you understand women empowerment? How women become empowered? When women have rights, they are empowered. When women have education, they are empowered. When women have a say, they can make their decisions, they are empowered. When women can go out of home, it is empowerment if they are allowed. If women are allowed to do jobs, they are empowered. If they are allowed to do business, they are empowered. If they are not allowed to do these things, they are not empowered. So, women empowerment has many aspects. In the Gulf, MEPI and DRL were active while USAID, USA did not play a major role. After the 9/11 attacks, the US government changed its thinking. Democracy promotion became the main part of the Bush administration's policy for Arab countries. The administration launched the Freedom Agenda for the Middle East. This agenda showed a major shift in US foreign policy. Some people said this shift rejected almost 60 years of earlier American policy. Before this, the US usually accepted the idea that stability was more important. The US often supported authoritarian governments in the Middle East. This included many governments in the Gulf region. By choosing the freedom agenda, the Bush team, the Bush government, rejected the idea of Middle Eastern exceptionalism. Did I explain exceptionalism before in your class? Exceptionalism means when someone or something is exceptional, exempted. In the past, pay attention, pay attention. I'm explaining exceptionalism. In the past, some people argued that some of the countries, some of the nations, they are not suitable for democracy. They are not suitable for democracy. For example, some people said Asian and African countries are not suitable for democracy. So it was called Asian exceptionalism and African exceptionalism. But when some countries in Asia and Africa became successful democracies, for example, Japan, it is in Asia, Japan, it became a democracy. South Korea is also in Asia, it became a good democracy. Taiwan, it is also in Asia, it became a good democracy. South Africa is in Africa, it also became a democracy, successful democracy. So that argument of Asian exceptionalism and African exceptionalism was rejected, discarded. Then there was an argument that Arab countries, Middle Eastern countries, they are not suitable, they are not fit for democracy. But some progress also was witnessed in the Middle East. Turkey is also in Middle East, Turkey. Turkey is also a democracy. Kuwait has also made some successes on democratic front. Similarly, in Lebanon, some sort of democracy is working. So that argument of Arab exceptionalism or Middle Eastern exceptionalism is also rejected, discarded. By choosing the freedom agenda, the Bush team rejected the idea of Middle Eastern exceptionalism. Now all of you understand exceptionalism? Clear? That idea means Middle Eastern or Arab societies were somehow not suitable for democracy. President Bush disagreed with this thinking. Bush said the people of the Middle East have a rich civilization. He said they have a religion that teaches personal responsibility. What is the religion of the Middle East? What is the main religion in the Middle East? Islam. Yes. Most Arabs are Muslim. So George Bush said, Islam teaches personal responsibility. And democracy is also personal responsibility. Freedom comes with personal responsibility. He said, the people in the Middle East desire freedom just as deeply as Americans do. Bush also said it was wrong to think that 1/5 of the world's population cannot have liberty. He said such thinking is negative. He said the United States should not believe in this pessimism. The Bush administration linked democracy in the Arab world with America's own security. The Bush administration showed seriousness about promoting democracy. This could be seen in the increasing funds. Funds were increased for promotion of democracy in the Middle East. HRDF received $48 million in 2005. This amount was only $13 million in 2001. 22% of these funds went to the National Endowment for Democracy, NED. It is an American organization, NED, National Endowment for Democracy. Under the Clinton administration earlier, only a little more than $5 million was given for political aid in the entire Middle East. There were other kinds of funding, but they were also small. In 2002, two State Department bureaus. What is a bureau? You know bureau? Bureau means office. Bureau means office. Bureaucrat, that is why bureaucrat. Bureaucrat who has an office. So bureau means office. In 2002, two State Department bureaus committed $29 million for democracy. What is the State Department? What is the State Department? What is its counterpart in Pakistan? American State Department. What is its counterpart in Pakistan? Ministry of Foreign Affairs. What is its counterpart in Pakistan? Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Office. State Department of America means Foreign Ministry of America. But its name is the State Department. Similarly, Secretary of the State. Who is Secretary of the State of America? What is its counterpart in Pakistan? Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister of America is called Secretary of the State. Okay? We have ministers, they have secretaries. They call secretaries to their ministers, Americans. You got the point? In America, there are no ministers, they have secretaries. We have foreign minister, they have secretary of the state. Okay? So, secretary of the state means foreign minister of America. In 2002, two State Department bureaus committed $29 million for democracy. MEPI allocated $143 million for the Middle East for 2003-2004. Out of this, $35 million were set aside only for democracy support. Many exchange programs were carried out. You understand exchange programs? Exchange programs. What are exchange programs? Yes, people from both countries visit each other's countries. It is called exchange programs. Okay? Activities took place in different areas and sectors. The next section of chapter 4 is goal, objectives, approaches, strategies, tools. The main goal announced by the Bush administration was to fight the root causes of terrorism. These causes were seen as coming from the region, from the Middle East. The goal was directly connected to America's security interests. When we look at the Advancing Freedom and Democracy reports of May 2009, we find important objectives. Improving human rights conditions. It was one of the objectives of promoting democracy in the Arab countries, in all 6 Gulf countries. Empowering women in all 6 Gulf countries. Improving governance in all Gulf countries. For Kuwait, the wording was different. Instead of improving governance, the report said reducing governmental cronyism. Reducing governmental cronyism. For the other Gulf countries, the objectives used words like rule of law, transparency, responsiveness, accountability, and oversight of governments. Do you understand why the language for my throat is not working well? Why the language for Kuwait was different? Because Kuwait is better in human rights, in democracy, as compared to other Gulf countries. Elections in Kuwait started in 1963, and they had their constitution before 9/11. So that is why language used in the American reports for Kuwait was softer, little lenient. Another major objective was building and sustaining democratic institutions in the Gulf. Kuwait was again different because it already had some democratic institutions. For Kuwait, the focus was on democratic stability and accountability of democratic institutions. The reports also show more objectives. They include promoting civil society, judicial reform and judicial independence, political participation, more engagement of citizens. The reports also show attention to human trafficking in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and UAE, and strengthening religious freedom. These reports help us understand the official US goals for democratic promotion in the Gulf, the US priorities for human rights and democratic governance. So let's stop here. My throat is not working well. So we will continue from here in the next class.